Continuing into this much awaited Oscar season and turning away from the films and categories just slightly, today I thought it would be fun to discuss some of the most shocking moments in Oscar history, moments that have left us with our head in our hands and feeling the ultimate cringe. If you haven't already and are liking these Oscar award season videos, then please do subscribe for more content throughout the month. And if you enjoy this video, please feel free to hit that like button. Number 5, Brando declines his Oscar. In 1973, Francis Ford Coppola's The Godfather took the world by storm in so many ways, and a massive part of that was due to Marlon Brando's epic and legendary performance as Don Vito Corleone, one of the most famous faces in all of cinema. Naturally and predictably, Brando wins, but is noticeably absent from picking up his Best Actor award. Instead, a Native American woman named Little Feather reluctantly takes it on his behalf. Although naming it as a generous award, probably sarcastically, the reasons for not accepting it were due to how they perceived Apache Native Americans were being mistreated by the film industry. Still, it remains as one of the most famous middle fingers to the Academy Awards in history. Number 4, Michael Moore's Best Documentary Speech. While receiving the Oscar for Best Documentary Feature in 2003, Moore is cheered heavily onto the stage for his extremely hard-hitting and controversial documentary Bowling for Columbine, about events prior and leading up to the 1999 school shooting in a Columbine, Colorado high school. And no speech in Oscar history that I can remember has had such an incendiary response as this. Though very short, Moore's speech will be remembered for the way he controversially called out the then President of the United States, George W. Bush, deeming the 2000 presidential election as fictitious and fixed, and then continuing to denounce the idea of the Iraq War.
Because we like nonfiction. We like nonfiction and we live in fictitious times. We live in a time where we have fictitious election results that elects a fictitious president. Where we have a man sending us to war for fictitious reasons, whether it's the fictition of duct tape or the fictitious of orange alerts.
Needless to say, this did not go down with the then highly, well, I'd say majority Republican post 9/11 affected audience, as his speech was cut short and he was forced off the stage with his producers in a tirade of boos.
Mr. Bush, shame on you, Mr. Bush, shame on you. And anytime you've got the Pope and the Dixie Chicks against you, your time is...
But that didn't stop him. Michael Moore, to this day, still continues to challenge the very ideals of American life and politics, releasing some of the most controversial documentaries in history. Number 3, Chris Rock misses the mark. With the hashtag #OscarSoWhite trending in 2015 due to the lack of quote-unquote diverse nominations, the Academy made the decision to allow the hilarious Chris Rock to host, following boycotts and snubs from the likes of Jada Pinkett Smith and others. But despite a decent open monologue and other snappy remarks, Chris's work in general had a few shock moments, such as the accountant skit involving 3 Asian children brandishing briefcases and wearing suits, which basically apparently was representing how Asian people are supposedly seen in Hollywood, and of course the Stacey Dash train wreck. Dash's sarcastic appearance and quote was met with a, shall I say, dicey reaction.
I cannot wait to help my people out. Happy Black History Month. Thank you.
Particularly by the black community, due to her outspoken conservative opinions on last year's boycott. But let's just say politics in Hollywood are a recipe for either complete standing ovations or complete disasters, and Chris Rock's quibs, jokes and skits were a lot by the end of the night. Some would say too much, but let's just say we won't forget them anytime soon. Number 2, Streaker on the stage. Now, if 1973 was a warning, and maybe it was even the start of politics thrown into the Hollywood world, the following year it took this to basically a completely different level. While at the 46th Academy Awards, host David Niven was introducing Elizabeth Taylor. Suddenly, a naked man ran across the stage in what can only be described as shocking. Political activist Robert Opel was a fan of gay rights, world peace, and of course public nudity, and was understandably fired from his job as a teacher afterwards. And despite Opel's sad, tragic ending 2 years later, he will always be remembered for the streak. But what was great about this time in Oscar history was Niven's quick-witted and timely response.
Fascinating to think that probably the only laugh that man will ever get in his life is by stripping off and showing his shortcomings.
Number 1, La La Land wins, otherwise known as the Envelope Gate scandal, in a moment that millions of people stay up to watch, the moment that the grandest prize in cinemas awarded out to Best Picture, and what is by far the most shocking moment in Oscar history, with a collective audible worldwide gasp of shock when poor old Warren was given the wrong envelope. He was there to announce Best Picture winner, and Moonlight's moment of glory was snatched away from them in outrageous fashion. Okay, Oscar evenings are tense, mistakes happen, and a lot is going on, but for the Academy to f*** up the pinnacle of the awards is hilarious. Now, rumours spread like wildfire, but apparently it's widely agreed that Warren was actually given the wrong envelope. An envelope that was given to La La Land previously for an Oscar they'd already won. And the mix-up was cataclysmic. It was talked about all over the world. I mean, you have to feel sorry for everyone involved in La La Land due to the fact that they had already poured out onto the stage. What a mess. So there you have it, just 5 of what I thought were the most shocking moments in Oscar history, apart from snubs and all that. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more future Oscar content in the coming weeks. I'm just waiting and staying tuned for the next shocking Oscar moment at the end of the month. Maybe they will award a short animation as Best Picture this year. Anything could happen. And on that note, take care everybody.